Hi guys, I'm Vivian and today I'm going to delve into the psychological influence for altering consumer behavior. Exciting, right? So here are 5 ways marketers can use behavioral science to change consumer behavior. So the theories to be mentioned today are asymmetric dominance, anchoring, associations and priming, the endowment effect, and lastly the goal gradient effect theory. Keep watching to find out more. So let's begin with one that we've probably all come across but haven't realized, and that is asymmetric dominance. It is a phenomenon where consumers tend to have a change in preference between two options when presented with a third option that is asymmetrically dominated. So to put this into perspective, an effective example would be the marketing techniques done at the cinemas. Let's use the way they market the prices of popcorn sizes for reference. So, National Geographic ran an experiment to test how the decoy effect influences consumers to buy a large popcorn rather than a medium or small one. To begin with, they offered one group of consumers a small bucket of popcorn for $3 or a large popcorn for $7. The results revealed that most consumers would choose a small bucket due to their finances and personal needs at the time. As for the second group, they decided to offer 3 different options: a small size for $3, a medium bucket for $6.50, and a large one for $7. And if you did guess that people bought the large one, you would be correct. So, this time, most of the consumers chose a large bucket because they saw more value in more popcorn for only 50 cents extra. As you can see here, the large bucket asymmetrically dominated the medium one, as the medium bucket was used as a price decoy to produce more sales with the large bucket. Next, we'll be talking about anchoring, also known as focalism. It is a cognitive bias where an individual depends too heavily on an initial piece of information offered to make subsequent judgment during decision making. So, as the saying goes, the best way to sell a $2,000 watch is to put it next to a $10,000 watch, right? But why is this? The culprit is commonly called anchoring. So, anchoring does refer to the tendency to heavily rely on the first piece of information offered when making a decision. In a study by Helpscout evaluating the effects of price anchors, researchers asked subjects to estimate the worth of a sample home. They provided pamphlets that included information about the surrounding houses. Some had normal prices and others had artificially inflated prices. Both a group of undergraduate students and a selection of real estate experts were swayed by the pamphlets with the higher prices. Anchoring even influenced the professionals. Placing premium products and services near standard options may help create a clearer sense of value for potential customers, who will view the less expensive options as a bargain in comparison. So now we will move on to one that is used so commonly in everyday life, and that is associations and priming. This occurs whenever exposure to one thing can later alter behavior or thoughts. Today, I will refer to an experiment conducted by John Powell, which explains the importance of association and priming to altering consumer behavior in-store or at a restaurant in this reference. So an experiment with 40 participants was conducted to explore how and why wine tasting preferences would be primed by different genres or music stimuli. The experiment included comparing participant brainwave activity in 2 different experiments, each involving 2 rounds of wine tasting, and the treatment was administered between the 2 rounds. So experiment 1. When faced with a choice between German or French wine whilst playing music from either Germany or France, the results included the following. With German music, German wine sold twice as fast. With French music, French wine sold 5 times as fast. And lastly, only 1 out of 7 consumers realized the music impacted them. The second experiment included the fact that consumers were given the same glass of wine with 4 different types of music playing in the background. The results for this ended up being that consumers matched the characteristics of the music to how they described the taste of the wine. How crazy is that? These experiments define the influence associations and priming can be to altering consumer behavior and buying decisions. Next, we have the endowment effect. This refers to an emotional bias that causes individuals to value an owned object higher, often irrationally, than its market value. So let's start with a pretty well-known brand that effectively utilizes the endowment effect without you noticing their strategy. Spotify and their freemium model is the perfect example. Schutt explains, when applying the endowment effect to a freemium experience, consider how that experience might encourage a sense of ownership in users. Freemium music platforms show that the endowment effect can definitely be used in the digital space. Many of these services allow users to listen to music and create playlists for free. Their premium experience is the removal of ads. While they could have chosen to have playlist creation a premium feature, but allowing users to create something within the free experience fosters a sense of ownership that listening alone cannot. A freemium model can not only attract customers, but put them in a situation where, when they are asked for a payment, they'll be more willing to pay much more. And in Spotify's situation, the consumer could potentially upgrade to the premium option to avoid ads and grow their confidence in the product. So we've left the best for last today, and I will be using the definition from Clark Hull to explain the definition of the goal gradient effect theory. So he does state that as people get closer to a reward, they speed up their behavior to get to their goal faster. In other words, people are motivated by how much is left to reach their target, not how far they've come. According to Jennifer Kleinens, the application of the goal gradient effect in loyalty programs has been well researched. Here, Starbucks has combined a compelling visual experience in their app with the power of behavioral science. The Starbucks app drives customers to buy more coffee with goal gradient language, such as 16 stars until the next reward. Everything in the experience pushes customers to keep buying until they achieve their end goal. Researchers Kvetz, Ermenskay, and Zen explored the goal gradient effect in humans by conducting a series of field experiments. One of them involved coffee loyalty programs. Customers were given coffee punch cards and researchers observed their behavior. They found that customers would buy coffee much more frequently the closer they got to their free coffee. So, now that we've discovered all 5 theories, let's take a step back. Although these theories positively affect consumer behavior for businesses, when is the line of ethics drawn? To put this simply, I'll be using anchoring as an example. The in-app game Wonderball Heroes offers 6 different bundle deals. However, the game anchors the player or potential buyer to the third alternative, 150 gems with 15%, which offers more for the same price. If you had guessed which deals were the most bought offers, which one would you guess? If you guessed 2 and 3, you would be correct. Most players would see the anchor as a starting point for their inner negotiations, for instance, striving to get more gems. This form of anchoring can be perceived as unethical due to the influencing of consumers to buy a bundle and be at a financial loss. However, ensures in-game benefits. As shown, the price differences can be seen as unethical due to the wide range of offers and the argument of being deceptive to ultimately reach the company's goals. Alright guys, well that does bring us to the end. I hope you guys all learned something new today and will notice the next time a company is using a behavioral science theory on you. We'll see you next time.